Okay, welcome everybody to tonight's webinar on emotional resilience in a stressful world and how to cope with stress in pressured environments and what the link is between the two, emotional resilience and stress. So I'm Carolyn Melnick. I'm a certified life coach and NLP practitioner based in Cape Town, South Africa. And I'm really, really excited to have you all here today. The purpose of the webinar today is to explore what emotional resilience is and how stress impacts our lives, and most importantly, how you can actually build your emotional resilience to navigate life's challenges and help you cope with stress in a healthier way. So before we begin, I want to ask the question, if you feel like sharing, please pop it into the chat box. What is your biggest source of stress right now? If you don't feel like sharing, that's also okay. It can be a personal thing. And I want you to think about this stress, the source of stress, while we, talking in this webinar to see how these tips and techniques and tools can help you to cope with that particular stress in your life. So today's agenda, we're going to go through the following content. We're going to look at what emotional resilience is, why is it so important, understanding the science of stress, where does it come from, how does it affect your mind and your body, how to build emotional resilience, stress management tools that you can implement in everyday life, the power of self-care, and why it's so important as well in helping you cope with stress and develop emotional resilience, and then some action steps that you can take to build long-lasting resilience. So first up, what exactly is emotional resilience? Now, every webinar, I like to pull out a quote that means something that has spoken to me. And this is one that I found that talks about resilience as a whole. So resilience isn't a single skill. It's a variety of skills and coping mechanisms. To bounce back from the bumps in the road as well as failures, you should focus on emphasizing the positive. And that's by Jean Chatzky. So emotional resilience is the ability to adapt to adversity and bounce back from setbacks and maintain an emotional balance in difficult situations. So if you think about it, when you're in a situation, for instance, if there's somebody that you don't get along well with and you're constantly in confrontation with them, sometimes if you're at work in a work environment and in a family environment, you can't choose to just stay away from these people. You do have to interact with them. So how do you manage those situations? And is it difficult for you to keep your cool and to think clearly in the situation when you are being confronted, or this person just really irritates you and pushes all the wrong buttons? Now, that is what emotional resilience is all about. When you're in those situations, you can actually stay calm and handle it in a more professional and a calmer way so that you come to a better result instead of just losing your toys. Why is it important? Well, today's world is incredibly fast-paced. We constantly have demands, family, life, finances, and resilience helps us to face these challenges without breaking down or burning out. And I don't know about you, but I've found my history is I come from 30 years in conference and events management. And that industry is very well known for being one of the most stressful industries in the world to work under. And it's just completely ruthless when it comes to deadlines and stress and it can so easily lead to burnout. And what I saw is ever since COVID, where we were forced to find other ways of interacting with each other because we had to social distance. So technology, as wonderful as it's been, what it has brought to us is the fact that we're constantly available. You can just hop onto a meeting like this, and that has added a whole new dimension of stress. And what I found was interacting with clients and people in different industries, that their stress levels seem to have increased to the levels of the event management industry. So it seems to be something that is quite common in the world today, where people are getting burnt out. They've just got constant stress. And that's why I think learning about emotional resilience and how to build it is so important. Now, I'd like to tell you a story. A few years back, I went to a wine estate in Robertson region called Walter Freden Wine Estate. I don't know if any of you have ever been there. It's the most amazing place. They have these cellar tours, and you can choose, or you can book both tours. There's a champagne tour where it tells you the history of champagne and how, the Western Cape makes MCC, which is Matuere Carte Classique, and the difference between champagne and sparkling wine and all of that. And you can even create your own bottle of champagne. So they show you how to cork it, with that little basket, put the cork in and put the basket over and then foil it and put a label on and everything. So it's an amazing experience. But the one that really, really spoke to me was the Chardonnay cellar tour. And here, they told us the story of the Chardonnay vine. So Chardonnay vines are planted in tough, rocky soil, and beneath the surface lies limestone rock. And these vines, in order to survive, what they have to do is their roots have to bore through the limestone rock to get to underneath where the water supply and the nutrients are. So they're pushing through hard layers of limestone to find what they need. And it's very daunting and challenging for the vine. But it's this very struggle that is where its strength is born. So the more stress the vine endures, the deeper its roots go. And as it reaches deeper and deeper into the earth, it finds nourishment that not only makes it survive, but it makes it really thrive. And in fact, it's the stress of the environment that improves the quality of the grapes. And that in turn improves the quality and makes a more complex and flavorful wine. So as I heard this story, I couldn't help but see the powerful lesson in resilience. Just like that Chardonnay vine, we too face our own limestone in everyday life, obstacles, challenges, and hardships that seem sometimes they're totally insurmountable. But it's the very act of pushing through those difficulties that make us stronger, that make us more resilient, and ultimately more capable. So when we dig deep and find the strength within ourselves that we didn't even know existed, I know that when I was working in conference and events and every day I was under this extreme pressure, I surprised myself so often with how I was able to manage challenges and get through things that I thought were impossible just by building resilience. The hardship that we endure today can become the richness of our lives tomorrow. So the next time you face a tough challenge, remember the Chardonnay vine. The pressure you feel isn't there to break you. It's there to make you stronger, more resilient, and like a fine wine, it will make you full of depth and character. Isn't that a wonderful story? Okay, so now let's talk about stress. Understanding stress and the science behind it and what triggers stress. So, what is stress? It's actually our body's natural response to a perceived threat. And it's a survival mechanism that triggers the fight or flight response. So, the chemicals that are released are cortisol and adrenaline. Okay. So, often we find that, especially in modern day life, we don't have a saber-toothed tiger running after us. So our stresses are completely different. And often it is sitting here all in your mind. You're creating this scenario and you're overthinking it. I mean, how many times have you gone into a situation where you've thought it through and you've thought it through and you've created all these hectic scenarios in your head, and when you faced it, it was like, oh, was that all? So very often in life, those hectic scenarios that you create in your head, which are creating stress from nowhere, don't even come to fruition. So short-term stress can help us to face our challenges and to get through them. And that's great. So stress isn't only unhealthy. The thing is that chronic stress, so if you are in a situation where you're under stress every single day for years on end, it wreaks havoc with our bodies and with our minds. And it leads to long-term, effects like anxiety, depression, high blood pressure, fatigue, burnout. And I went to go onto the internet to go and have a look, and I found these diagrams on healthline.com that show the various areas of your body that are affected by long-term stress. And it's actually quite scary because of the amount of stress that we are exposed to in our daily lives these days. And this brings home why it's so important for us to learn how to manage stress. So headaches, depression, insomnia, weakened immune systems, then heart attacks, pounding hearts, high blood pressure, you name it, it just goes on. So it is incredibly important that we learn how to manage our stress in our daily lives, because it is a natural response, but often by doing some simple work on our mindset and our attitude towards life in general, we can help manage it in a healthier fashion. So how can we build emotional resilience? Here are some practical techniques. So the first is doing a simple mindset shift. So every time you start becoming aware that you're being triggered by stress, or you're going into a situation where you know that you're going to be confronted. Emotional resilience begins with how you perceive challenges. So instead of viewing a challenge or a setback as a failure, look at it as a learning opportunity. So let's say you missed a big deadline. Instead of beating yourself up about it and carrying on and on and on, say, okay, it happened. What can I learn from this to prevent it from happening again? So just by calming yourself down, accepting the fact that this happened, and then, reframing it and looking at it from a learning perspective, you're already starting to shift your mindset about things that trigger you and are out of your control. You can also reframe your negative thoughts. Now, a lot of people naturally think negatively, but if you become aware that negative thoughts can actually cause such harm in your life, and you keep catching yourself when you start thinking negatively, you go, oops, no, this is not how I should be thinking. And replace your negative thought with something positive. So instead of saying, I can't handle this, say, I don't know how to handle this right now, but I can figure it out. So what you're doing is you're reinforcing the message to yourself that you are able to cope with that situation and to figure it out. The next thing is to practice gratitude. And I'm a big one who supports a gratitude journal. Every single day, write down 3 things. I mean, just 3 things. They can be 3 little things that you're grateful for, because every day has something good. Every day has something positive in it. What this does is it helps you to build a habit to look for the positive things in your life. And this will build emotional strength. And the last is mindfulness and meditation. Even just 5 minutes of stepping away from everything, going outside, put your bare feet on the grass, close your eyes and breathe in the air, bask in the sunshine. I'm a big fan of breath work and breathing meditation, because I've done this before, where I had an app where you could do 10 minutes of breathing meditation every day. And after 10 days, I had pain in my back that had been there for like years, like just disappeared through simple breath work, mindfulness, meditation. It really does work. Okay, so let's look at some practical stress management tools. The first is to identify your stress triggers. Become aware of what is causing your stress. Once you know your triggers, you can actually create, you can put things in place to manage those triggers. So become aware, write them down in a journal so that you're making a note of it. And awareness is always the first step to making change. And if you want to change how you manage your stress, you need to start becoming aware of what is actually triggering the stress. So time management, I did a time management webinar 2 weeks ago, which if you haven't seen the replay, I'm happy to share it with you. But time management is actually one of the biggest stresses, where you feel you just don't have enough time. And what you can do with time management is to learn simple techniques, create your schedules, learn to prioritize. Then once you've identified your priorities, stick to your priorities first. Work on those things that are going to matter most, and then look at the rest. So watch my Master Your Time, Master Your Life webinar. If you'd like a copy, please pop it into the chat and I will send it off to you. And this will give you a lot more detailed information and tips and techniques that you can use for time management. The third thing to help you with stress is actually setting boundaries. And I say this over and over again, it's actually okay to say no. If you're always saying yes, you're just overcommitting, and that leads to your burnout, and then you feel overwhelmed, and it's just a vicious cycle completely of stress. And yeah, so setting boundaries helps you to protect your energy. So 2 of your resources, your most important resources that are not renewable in your life is your time and your energy. And whatever you can do to protect your time and your energy, you need to do that. And setting boundaries is key to that, which will in turn help you cope with your stress levels. And it helps you to focus on what's important. Physical exercise. Exercise is the most amazing thing to relieve stress and to work out all those chemicals in your body. And also it releases all those nice, positive, happy chemicals in your bodies, your endorphins and things like that. Go for a short walk every day, clear your mind, release the endorphins. It improves your mood. It's just, I can't stress it more, how important it is to just get out, do some, get into nature if you can, at least once a week. Yeah, just to clear your mind and release all that energy and tension. Then there's self-care. So let's quickly have a look at what self-care can do to help you. So why is self-care critical? It's not selfish. Okay, self-care is important because you're important. A lot of people get so busy with life. I did this. I've got 4 sons. I was working in conferencing and events, and I put myself last. I didn't look after myself. And if I don't look after myself, I can't do my job. I can't look after my kids, etc. So you have to actually look at yourself as something that's important. You are your most important asset and in this world, because if you don't look after yourself, you just can't have quality of life, and you can't help the people and interact with the people around you in a good way either. So to take care of yourself is so important. Types of self-care is physical. For instance, making sure that you get enough sleep at night. That is important. Sleep is a superpower. I believe in sleep. Eating nutritious foods instead of all those processed foods all the time. Be careful what you're putting into your body. Exercising regularly. Emotional self-care is spending time with loved ones, with people that make you feel good, your tribe. Spend time with them. And journaling, writing down your thoughts. I'm going to do a workshop on a webinar on journaling, because journaling is just such an amazing and powerful tool as well. Look for help if you need it. And then mental self-support, take breaks, find a hobby. I'm a photography nut. I love photography and I don't do it enough. Practice mindfulness. All these little things are so easy to introduce into your daily lives and so important when it comes to looking after yourself and managing your stress levels. Okay, so looking after yourself has a ripple effect. So when you care for yourself, you have more energy, more patience for the people around you and the people that you love. And this will improve your personal and your professional relationships. So let's look at some actions that you can take to build long-term resilience. So the first is introduce daily practices. Create a morning routine. So if you start, I don't know, I've read the book, The 5 a.m. Club, and I absolutely love it, where Robin Sharma says how important it is to create a morning routine. And his suggestion is to actually take 3 blocks of 20 minutes, and the one you do your mindset, your heart set, your soul set. So you do physical exercise, you do journaling and meditation, and you also learn something. So you read or you learn something. But create a morning routine so that you start your day off with mindfulness. Start your day on a calm term. Have a few minutes of meditation. It doesn't need to take a lot of time out of your day. Maybe you like exercising right in the beginning of the day as well. But building a morning routine definitely makes a huge difference. It helps you to get ahead of your day. It helps you start and set the correct tone of the day so that you're in control of the day instead of your day being in control of you. Second is to start journaling. And I really believe in journaling. When I went through a difficult time, one of my friends introduced me to journaling. And what I found was I started writing down my thoughts and started practicing every day, looking for something that I'm grateful for. And a few months down the line, I could look back in my journal and see, oh, wow, look how far I've actually come. And a lot of people don't realize how far you've come. And you're constantly looking at how difficult life is. And if you write in a journal and you go back a few months and you say, wow, a few months ago, I really was wanting to get a new job. And look at me, 9 months, 9 months down the line, I've got this new job that I've always wanted. I've got the salary that I needed. I'm so, my life has improved so much since then. So journaling helps you to actually keep track of your progress. It also helps you to create a habit of looking for something good every single day. And breathing exercises. Yeah, I'm a big fan of breath work, and you'll see at the end of this, we're actually running a breathe retreat in November. And Jax is on the line. She's co-hosting it with me here in the Western Cape, but she's also running one in Gauteng region. So we'll give you the details. Okay. Now, consistency is key. Emotional resilience is like a muscle. So the more you practice, the stronger you'll become. Right. So wrap up. Let's have some questions. If you have any questions, I'm going to check the chat box now. But I just wanted to recap that emotional resilience is the ability to adapt to adversity, bounce back from setbacks, maintain emotional balance in difficult situations. It allows us to face challenges without breaking down or burning out as well. So that is why it's so important. And because stress is a natural response and it's part of everyone's everyday life, learning how to manage your stress and using emotional resilience to help you with that will definitely make a difference in your life. Start with small steps, start with small manageable action points that you can include in your everyday life that's not going to create more stress for you. Just start small, and soon you'll see that you will make the progress and start moving in the right direction. Okay, so have we got any questions? Sarah, I can't see them on my screen because I'm sharing screen. And we asked the question at the beginning, what's your biggest stress point? Have we got any? Wait, I found the chat. Uncertainty. Okay, so Jax. Uncertainty about achieving my desired outcomes about my upcoming retreats. Ooh. I'm sure that that's stressful. Is Jax still on the line?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, there you are. Hello.
I'm still here. Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's not knowing and sort of doing everything you can to the best of your ability, and then at some point finding that place where you just have to let it go and surrender, but you still need to manage that uncertainty and to stay in that sort of positive kind of mindset,
Yeah.
even though the results might not necessarily always show what you want them to. There's
Yeah.
navigating that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can relate to that because I've done, run events for such a long time in my life, conferences and events. And the biggest challenge running up to any event is to, we used to call it bums on seats. Where do you get them from and how do you encourage them? And the trends at the moment are that people are leaving things to the last minute and they're booking much later. So it
Mm,
creates a lot of uncertainty if you're running an event yourself.
mm,
And I get that.
mm.
But we're going to tell everybody about the retreat just now. Hey.
Great. Yeah, great.
Okay, and then I see Tristan, you'd like the Master Your Time, Master Your Life, absolutely. I will send that to you and share that with you. Right. So, any other questions? Paul, I see you love journaling. Well, I've got something nice for you, a gift for you, all of you that are here today, which I've put together a Picture Your Thoughts journal template toolkit, which I'm going to share with you and send to you along with the recording of this webinar. Plus, I'm going to send the copy of the slides and this toolkit. So I can share the screen. I have to stop sharing this screen to show you what the toolkit looks like. But basically, what you do with the toolkit is there's a lot of different types of journaling pages. So you look at the ones that will work for you, you know, whether it's a food, you know, what you call it, like a food audit. So you're tracking what you're eating every day. I've got a situation where I need to watch what I'm eating because I'm trying to see what's triggering certain things. So I thought, wow, that is such a useful thing to have, you know, so that every day you track what you're eating and then you can see what your response is to try and figure out what's causing, you know, an allergic reaction or whatever. There's that. There's a monthly planner, a weekly planner. There's a daily gratitude journal and a mindfulness. So it's like a bit of a mix mash, but every single page in there is something that I find so useful to, you know, a journal can trigger your thinking and make you start questioning things so that you are able to make change in your life. So that is what I'm going to be sending to everybody. Also, anyone who books the 30-minute coaching call with me I will share with you my time mastery toolkit, which is actually, it's a self-drive toolkit. So it's a PDF document which you can work through at your own pace on how to figure out what your priorities are, how to manage your time. It's got a few exercises in there. It's got a time audit. It's got the Eisenhower matrix. So it explains all of those tools and techniques. I think there's eight tools in there that you can use to help you manage your time better. So yeah, if you scan that QR code, you can actually book a call. There's no obligations, totally free, and we can have a chat. Okay, so let's see. Sharon, the most challenging thing for me is handling a day with everything thrown at me that's not planned, yet important to be done and done now. Communication is the worst, making everything a crisis situation. Ugh, it sounds terrible, Sharon. But I believe we've got a call booked, so let's have a chat. If anybody has some thoughts on what Sharon is sharing there, if you've been in a similar situation and you found a solution, we'd love to hear from you as well. Okay, Paul, journaling will help me get over my forgetfulness. Right, you'll have a written record of it. So yes, it will help with that as well. Okay, so my next webinar is in 2 weeks' time on the 31st of October. It's defining your future, how to create the vision of your future that you like, you really, really want. And this webinar is one of my favorites. It's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to talk about visualization and why visualization actually works. And it's not hoo-ha, hoo-ha. It is something that really works because top athletes use it. You know, very successful businessmen use it and business women use it as a tool to gain crystal clarity on what they want in the future. And I'm going to talk about vision boards and creating a vision board. We won't have time to actually physically create a vision board on the workshop, But what I'll do is I'll give you a toolkit to be able to plan your vision board, and then we would love to see your vision boards once you've created them. And now's the perfect time to start looking at 2025 before 2025 is here. What is your expectation for next year? And that is why I put this here on Halloween. You can go trick-or-treating after this webinar. It's quite important. And coming soon, I've written a book. And this book is very close to my heart because this is something that I've recently gone through, and it inspired me to write a book about it. Finding Purpose After 50, Reigniting Your Life. Now, you don't have to be 50 years old to actually benefit from this book. What it's all about is your purpose and why purpose matters, actionable steps that you can take to find your purpose. Life after 50 can be your best life. So even if you aren't close to 50 here, if you're much younger, I want to tell you that you don't need to be worried about hitting this big 50 milestone. It seems scary. When I was young, I thought 50-year-olds would be like really old. And now I'm past 50 and I still feel young, but my body feels like it's not so young anymore. But anyway, there's actionable steps to find your purpose and to remind you that life, and to show you that life after 50 can be actually the best time of your life. And then there's 4 key questions that you can answer to find your purpose. So if you want a copy, just pop it into the chat. We will make sure that you're on the list to receive a free copy as soon as we launch. It's going to be in the next few days. Then our retreat. Jax, I don't know if you want to say something here because this is your baby that you've put together. But let me hand over to Jax to talk.
Am I there?
Yes.
Can everyone see me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi everyone. So yeah, very excited about the Breathe Retreat that we're putting together, and we sort of starting off in November between the 15th and 17th in Johannesburg. And it really is, breathing is probably one of the foundational things that we do that impact so many different aspects of our lives. From how we manage stress to the balancing between the left and the right brain hemispheres, to how we relate to our partners. They're just our immune system, our lymphatic system. The breath is actually connected to so many systems in the body. You know, that picture you showed us, it's connected to so many of those different areas. And it's something that we do so naturally and easily, but that doesn't mean we're doing it correctly. And so part of the retreat is actually to share some techniques and tools in terms of really coming back into natural, correct breathing. So we bring in a certified breath practitioner. We're going to have some yoga. I'm a resonance repatterner, and that's a whole nother topic on its own, but I'm going to be doing some breath repatternings on the retreat, a little bit of bubble art. So everything that we do is actually connected to how we use our breath. So that's a little bit about what we would be doing in the retreat. And yeah, it's just such an important theme.
Yeah, and I'm so excited that I can help you bring this to the Western Cape. We found the most amazing place. Well, it looks fantastic. I'm going to take a drive out there and just go and check it out and take some photos and everything within the next week or two. But this is an amazing opportunity. A retreat is an amazing opportunity to just get away from everyday life, to take a break, to rejuvenate your soul and your mind and your body. Actually, it's a holistic experience. So if you're interested, please, if you scan the QR code, it goes to Jax's website. and all the detailed information of what's covered, etc., is on there. And if you want, you can pop me an email. You've got my details as well, and I can share the details with you. But we're trying to make it more accessible to people, no matter where you're located in South Africa. And it's really exciting. Yeah.
Great
All
stuff.
right. Well, we're at the end of the webinar now, so I'm going to stop sharing. I see there's some more messages. Thank you for your kindness. Great. Sharon would like a copy. That's perfect. Oh, yes. Paul, thank you very much. We will do that. And yes, I just want to say thank you very much to everybody who took the time to attend tonight. I do appreciate that time is valuable. And please look out for an email. Sarah will be sending to you the link to the recording. So I just need to download it and edit it and everything, the video, and it will be up probably by tomorrow during the course of the day. Then we'll send you the link to the replay, a copy of the slides, as well as my free gift. And if you would like to hop onto a 30-minute call to discuss your, how I can help you fast track your success, your progress, find your purpose, etc., you'll be able, the details will also be included in that mail, and I will share with you my time mastery blueprint at the same time. And then, of course, there's the book and the retreat. So lots happening, which is very exciting. But we're here to help you become the best version of yourself. And I'm so excited that I can help you with this every single day. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so we'll be in touch. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.